It's a Maxi.
One person.
The name of the startups.
Okay, so the two startup house pitches, you can come up here, and then again, the order will be Eve Autonomy, Viral, Ametness, RadTech, and Axel AI. Oh yeah, and now, yes. Hello? Yes. Yes, it's going on right now. Okay, hold on, I'll text you.
What is this paragraph? After the online, you're gonna do it.
You signed up to start now. Is Yarden one of your companies? He's here. He said he signed up through you.
For a pitch. And Dimitri reached out to me yesterday for our PDF. Yes. And so I was able to
What's the name of
Yarden?
Yeah, it's here.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, we just didn't know the name. All right, thank you.
Online first. First ideals.
Great. Thank you very much.
I'm just going to go ahead and start.
Okay, so let's.
Yeah. Are you ready? Are you already on? I'm going to start with the introductions and things like that. Anybody who's outside, we're going to start right now, so come on in. We'll start a few minutes early. My name is Zahaba Stroud, and I am the founder of Video Launch. I've been in Silicon Valley now 9 years. Previous to that, I was in LA producing events for Hollywood and technology, and before that, I was an attorney. I enjoy bringing people together for startups to meet global investors. And we have been privileged to use this wonderful venue for the last about 14 months now. I don't know if our pastor wants to say any comments. Jake, you can wait. Jake Duckworth is the pastor and the also administrator and chief facilities officer. They've been very generous in letting us use their space. So we really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll continue to do that. We produce events where startups meet investors. We also do events at trade shows, and we also do conferences. We try to make the events free or very low cost, so they're affordable to startups. And our main focus is connecting you to accredited investors. So for this event today, we had over 60 investors register. Many of them will have a name tag that says investors, so you can find them. We really like to help both early and advanced startups get to the next level of funding. And we provide this opportunity for you to make introductions. The program will consist of about 1 hour and 10 minutes of pitching, and then we will all go to the room next door, where we will have exhibitor tables for everyone who pitched. Everyone else can network, and then in the patio, we will be serving dinner and drinks. And you're welcome to stay for about 1.5 hours during that period of time. Yeah. We don't like to put out the address for the event because we have to sign a COVID waiver on the website. So I want to mention 2 other events that we're planning right now. We just had our annual CES conference. Did anyone attend that? It went really great. We've been doing it for 12 years. It was our best one ever with global startups and 85 investors. It was a 1-day conference. We also did it here in October, and we want to plan it again for here in March or April. We are now looking for a venue to host it. We try again, as I said, to keep costs down by using office space or lower cost community centers. And we need 2 large rooms. So if anyone knows of a venue somewhere between Mountain View up through San Francisco, let me know. We also are always looking for venues to host other events, evening networking mixers, etc. So let us know. We are now planning 2 upcoming events. During the Game Developer Conference, which is March 19th through 26th, we are hosting a free metaverse party. You can go to our website, angellaunch.com, and click on the link. We not only give you our party, but we have a party list of lots of other free parties. So you can sign up for that and get all the free parties, even if you don't go to GDC. Many people don't realize GDC does not give free expo passes like other trade shows. It's very expensive, so many people don't go, they just go to the parties and network. Also coming up in April is RSA, the huge cybersecurity conference. We're also planning an event there, including a venture pitch. And you can also sign up for the free party list on our website at angellaunch.com. And we are planning our first event in Orange County in the next 3 months. We've had a lot of interest, both from startups and investors in that region. It'll be a one-day tech summit, so if you have an interest in Orange County, you can let us know. And I think that covers the immediate events that we're planning. So our partner for this event is Startup House. That's Sergey. He's a little bit hoarse today, so I will say hello on his behalf. Some of you are through them. We've been a partner for, about 4 years now doing these joint events. And the way it works is we will start with our investors introducing themselves. And then after that, each startup will pitch for a certain number of minutes. We will pull up a card that tells you 30 seconds stop. Then you get 2 minutes of Q&A from the investors. We encourage everyone to ask short questions and also startups to give short answers. The point is for people to see what investors are thinking. And if they ask a lengthy, detailed question like, what's the 5-year history of your technology? Please go see them outside at the exhibitor table and talk about it later. So that's the summary of what's going to happen today. The restrooms, the ladies' rooms on this side, the men's room, you go through the community room and make a right turn. If you need water, if you go back to the patio, there's a water table, and hopefully that will get us through. So, first I'd like to introduce our investors. Some of them we've had before, some of them we haven't. I do want to mention one of our investor judges, Florian Brody, is an instructor at UC Berkeley. That happens to be my alma mater and my son's alma mater, and we are thrilled that we have a group of students studying business innovation. Can you raise your hand, Berkeley students? So all of those students who are obviously highly talented and highly skilled to get in and survive at UC Berkeley are looking for summer internships. So we encourage you later to look for them. Their tag says UC Berkeley, and if you're looking for summer internships, find them. Or Florian, can you stand up so they see you? Or find Florian, give him your card. I know that at our recent, and they're from France, I understand, right? All of you are from France. They're here for a year program. At our recent CS event, my partner actually had a French intern, and he was the best intern we ever had. He did everything. He did mobile apps, he ran the event for us, so it was a great experience, and I highly recommend now my experience with French interns. So, any case, we're going to start now with our investors. If you could each stand up and say who you are, where you're based, what kind of fund you have, how much you generally invest per year, and how much per startup, and what are the markets that you're most interested in right now?
Zahava. Hi everyone. My name is Stratos Davlos. I'm a local investor from the North Bay. Me and my network invest up to $250,000 per ticket. We also support you with advice and technical implementations. Our thesis is primarily software and AI-centric companies. We've done some investments in biotech and one of them in hardware, but our preference is to go down the software and AI path. You can connect with me by LinkedIn or with me after the event. Good luck, everybody.
Hi there, this is Al Buddha. I run a fund of funds. I'm a venture capitalist. We invest usually $500K per venture capital firm. So if you're a VC, I'm an investor. If you're an LP, we have a fund going, please find me. We invest in fintech, e-commerce, healthcare, and we have a generic software as well. The team together is very I believe I'm probably the least experienced. We have had 600 direct investments, 59 of which became unicorns. So I run a unicorn blueprint monthly event if you're interested. He's at LA too. And welcome to the students. I'm so excited that you're here. You will be the most successful ones in this room, I'm sure. And thank you for being here.
Hi, I'm William Brody. I've been here for 2 years. I'm originally from Austria. I'm beyond teaching at Cal, and I'm very excited to have my students here today. I work as an executive coach and as a business advisor, and together with my partners, we invest very, very early, and the real focus is on supporting companies, not only to get investment, but to really get them through the first phase and then get a follow-on investment, which very often is something that's missing. Come and see me afterwards.
Hello everyone, I'm Dan. I'm actually similar to you. I have 15 years experience in machine learning, and I'm mostly investing from ranging tens of thousands up to 1.5 million a ticket. Mostly interested in spaces that intersect AI with wide-ranging applications, whether it's fintech, healthcare, biotech, and software is definitely something that's attractive since the profit margins are wider, but also interested in projects. So come see, hope to meet many of you today, and come say hi.
Hey everyone, this is my first time here. I'm from Diverge. We are a CVC arm of Hensel Phelps. Hensel Phelps is a $10 billion general contractor, one of the largest in the US. And we focus on construction technology companies. My particular background is in robotics and manufacturing. So we have startups in hardware, robotic, construction space.
The ticket is like something between 50K to a quarter million actually. It's in high tech, but anything about my of interest to me, I'm always keen on finding out like the new things either in hardware or software. So, yep. Go to pieces and networking. Next.
Thank you. My name is John Occupenti. I've been investing in venture capital seed early stage since 1999. Before that, I was really employed at Netscape. I've been with 2 firms and now raised my own fund in 2018. I have a team of sort of e-commerce experts.
Yes, the first one is Terra.
Own and operate our own companies. And we make investments. And average investment size could be between 250,000 to 2-3 million. So looking forward to the conversation.
Great. All right, thank you very much. And we also have many other investors in the room, and you can meet them later, ranging from VCs, corporate investors, and angels. As you might have noticed, our specialty has been angels for the last 9 years. There's a lot of hidden wealth in Silicon Valley, and we're fortunate many of those people found their way to our events. So it's a chance to get feedback, board advisors, or investing. So we have 2 pitches on Zoom. We're going to start with those, and then we'll do the live pitches. The first one is Terra.
Okay, Max, are you ready? Dmitry, please switch on.
Yes, I'm ready.
Screen share. Go ahead.
He has 4 minutes. Oh, it's the screen.
So do you see my screen? Do you see the presentation?
No, tell him there's no presentation.
We can see your screen, but it's not a presentation. It's like it's just a screen, Can you hear me?
Yes.
Could you switch on the presentation? It's just your screen.
1 second.
Okay, try again, please.
Yeah, maybe somebody else will start. Let somebody else to start first, and I will figure this out.
Okay, Margaret, second.
Margaret?
It's also
Margaret on Zoom. Okay.
I'm available.
Okay. Please share screen with us. We can hear you well.
Okay, let's try it.
You still can see screen of Max. Mhm.
Do you see
Now
my
we-
screen?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Hello, my name is Margaret Kacherga, and I'm a founder and CEO of Margic. My background is in engineering of organic electronics, and I have PhD in nanoscale science, and I'm a co-inventor in the patent for technology we're commercializing. I've participated in programs such as Chain Reaction Innovations, supported by DOE for energy and clean tech startups, and currently I'm a mentor for Accelerator at Macom Labs in Berlin for materials science companies. Also, I became the first person to receive the grand prize on show Unicorn Hunters of 10 million unicorns, which will currently remain as cryptocurrency asset as it continues to grow. The global challenge that Margic is addressing is the challenge with lighting devices, such as consumer electronics and lighting panels. Humans use more and more illumination every single day, resulting in power grid overload, as well as most of the materials needed for such devices are running low in mines, as well as typically sourced from China and Russia. What do consumers need? A solution that utilizes earth-abundant, locally available materials that cost-effective and would enable devices to be recyclable. Margic offers all earth-abundant, low-cost, high-volume material solution, and our materials also enable simplification of manufacturing while enabling devices to operate brighter while using less power after utilization of our solution. LED and lighting electronics industry is over $1.5 trillion industry, and we are sitting at the intersection of display lighting companies, material science companies, as well as packaging industry. And our target market is $1 billion. We already have support of 8 companies, 3 intends to purchase, and 1 current purchase order that we are completing by March 8th with a packaging company. Our early market entry strategy is what's called through influencer boxes, working with packaging distributors due to low unit count demands as well as unlimited budgets of our customers. We're also completing our first electric bike with organic LEDs as rear signal lights, and we received 3 letters of support from US Air Force to pursue autonomous lighting applications using our OLEDs. After luxury branding rollout in the early market entry, we're planning to grow into emergency signage, then into commercial indoor lighting and automotive industry, and ultimately this would establish our track record to enter the largest and most competitive consumer electronics market and reach that $1 billion of revenue. We are able to compete against companies that are in our direct competitions. Even though they have been around for the past decade, they do have significant limitations, and how we're capable to go around them is that we offer a dedicated engineering and sales force, and our solutions offer more flexible applications into the products directly by our customers and compatible with their automated equipment. So far, we have been able to operate with support from government contracts and accelerators totaling, plus some of the in-kind support from the programs totaling up to $1.4 million. And we had our first private check signed from Reinforced Ventures. Our team has over 90 years of experience in commercialization consumer electronics from industrial leaders, as well as our advisory team is composed of serial entrepreneurs and technical people from the electronics industry. And we have partnerships with university and a national laboratory as well. Our ask is $400,000 for pilot execution to inform our customers' demands, and then later on establish full manufacturing depending on how those pilot sizes will play out. And with that, I would like to finish with the fact that Margic translates as loving change. So let's change the way we light up the world together. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Questions from investors, please.
Thank you for the presentation. I've seen so many organic LED products in the market. How is this different from the competition?
Yeah, typically what you see on the market are things that are applicable for either your cell phone, TV, and some of the rear lighting of the cars. Those are great markets, but they are heavy in regulations, usually ran by giants your ultimate giants are LG and Samsung, which are very difficult to become suppliers for. We're currently looking at revenue streams through what's called alternative applications of organic LEDs. And our LEDs are fully flexible OLEDs of single color at this point. We're pursuing single color applications, so not display. So it is lighting opportunities, and we can put them in different sizes of strips, different shapes that we can achieve with the overlays of the different OLEDs. And therefore, we're capable of pursuing these applications outside of the traditional. But with OLED Works, we have been able to also test our materials inside of commercial unit, and we learned that our material solutions actually work in a lighting panel as well, traditional lighting panel.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions from the investors?
Also, please, questions from online investors. Dmitry, please manage it if possible. Do we have any questions from online investors?
No, there are no questions online.
I hate to admit that I don't know much about autonomous lighting. I understand the concept, but I cannot wrap my head around the size of the opportunity. So how big is the market for autonomous lighting?
Let me show a couple of examples. So you can, by autonomous lighting, what we mean is powered independently of the power grid. So for military bases, we're working on solutions that would operate during power outages during the cyber attacks and the failures of the power grid. So it's the lighting that would operate off of the batteries. They currently have invested $800 million into the LED kits that do not stand up to their commitments to time needs. So we're working to meet those standards and replacing. The autonomous lighting and emergency signage industry is $900 billion industry alone. That's without even trying to talk about automotive or display technologies.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And next we'll go to our next student presenter.
So, Max, are you ready?
Yes, it should work.
Okay.
All right, we're fine, Max.
So, do you see my presentation now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So hi everybody. So my name is Maxim, and I'm the founder of Terrafera. So I live in Miami for the last 3 years, and before that for 5 years in San Francisco. So I built 3 retail unicorns in my career, and now I'm building community-powered fashion. So in fashion, it became very difficult to grow a fashion business now. Over the last 8 years, digital marketing costs went up 3 times. And just last year, because of new privacy policies, the digital marketing costs on Instagram, Facebook went up 38%, and on TikTok 70% for fashion designers. So we believe that the future of marketing is not digital ads, but building the communities of engaged superfans from day one. So we believe that 50% of revenue fashion designers spend for distribution, like to be present in Neiman Marcus, in boutique shops, like in all types of department stores, and paying for online ads can be much better spent for community engagement. And so we built a tool for this. And this toolbox has 3 major elements. So one is revenue sharing for co-creation. The second one is gamified early pre-sales and ability to personalize and customize the products for customers. And the third one is organizing and facilitating collaborations and co-marketing between fashion designers and other digital creatives. So exchanging the male audiences and social media audiences. So to make it work, we built a streamlined framework and pipeline. So it's very flexible, and designers can create different stages, then can create different creatives to different stages, and super fans from the existing social networks as well. And so people can vote, so people can vote with their money for the ideas and products they like. So the market we work on is huge. So fashion is it's 30% of all e-commerce sales in the US, and our total addressable market is around 64 billion. And this market is just online sales made through affiliates, through influencers getting the revenue sharing. So what we built, it doesn't have like a direct competition. So you can think of us as like advanced version of like advanced hybrid between Instagram and Kickstarter, tailored for prosumers, tailored to people who are willing to participate in the process of co-creation. And today, at least 44% of Gen Z, according to different research, are interested to be friends with the brands. So they're interested to be like behind the stage. So they're interested to participate in the process of creation. So our business model is to take royalty for all the products co-created on the platform, and they can be distributed elsewhere, so on designers' website or later on our platform as well. And we also take 7% extra, including all payment commissions for pre-sales and crowdfunding when designers get money early. And pre-sales in general is very important for fashion industry, because around 30% of all products made in fashion today, they go to landfills. And when we shift this to pre-sales, when we shift demand to pre-sales, and the fashion industry can go to on-demand manufacturing, and it can dramatically reduce the number of the quantity of the products going to landfills and which are not purchased later on by the customers. So our go-to-market strategy is very similar to Patreon. So we go directly to emerging fashion designers, we sell to them and educate them and help them to bring around 1 to 5% of their existing social media audience to a platform. So based on research, we think that engaged super fans will buy around 30% more on our platform. And as I said, we think that we will be able to shift around 35% of revenue for fashion designers to on-demand production.
Right, it's time for questions now.
Yeah, just few quick.
We need to complete this.
Yeah, I will wrap up. So we are in private beta stage right now. So we work with 10 designers and plan to go with public launch in May. And myself, I worked with fashion designer for the last couple of years in the US, and my previous experience was with Pandora jewelry, and I did like 80 million in EBITDA just in 3 years for that company.
Right. We're going to take questions from our judges. Do we have any questions here?
Hi, this is John. First of all, I agree with a lot of your comments. Digital marketing is getting much harder, and we need to be selling through community. So the premise up front, I think, is very good. What evidence do you have, other than research, at any kind of micro level, MVP level, that there is a need from both designers and that consumers really want this as well?
So we spoke with more than like probably 30 designers right now, and with designers we have like 100% buy-in. So all of them they are very interested in the platform and our solution. With customers and super fans, not yet. So customers and like super fans, it's only based on research for now.
Thank you. This is, I think, advice for any entrepreneur. Storytelling in your presentations is really critical. It's less about what you think and maybe even the research, but what can you demonstrate with like your customers' words is the best way to answer a VC's questions? But I'll pass the mic.
Questions. So questions from online.
Questions from online. I'll let you handle that.
Okay, if no questions, let's move forward and thank you, Maxime. Now let's see.
Thank you. And next we have App Monster. There's a mic up there and a remote. Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Oleg. I'm founder of AppMaster.
Just a second.
They should put the slides on slideshow.
Yeah.
This is why it's
Yeah, just a second. I share screen with Zoom, and now we're good. Okay, try it now.
Yes, it's working.
No, it's okay. Try it now.
Right now. Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
So, I'm also Nikov and I'm founder of AppMaster. And you know, like from the very beginning of computer era, we have been looking for ways on how we can improve our ability to build software. And actually we started from punch cards, low-level languages like assembler, COBOL. At some point we invented high-level languages, Python, PHP, Java, JavaScript, and we boosted our software development a lot. Around 2010, we got modern frameworks, we got package managers, we got open repositories, and we did our software development higher. And there is a question: what is the next big thing in software development? And I bet you will say ChatGPT, AI generation, and so on. And technically, you will be terribly wrong, just because of the limitation of the LLM, large language models, and amount of memory. It's not a viable way to build software. While GitHub, Copilot, and OpenAI, ChatGPT try to generate more meaningless code, we have a completely different approach. So we created AppMaster, and AppMaster is a no-code platform with code generation capability. Citizen developers can use our platform to create blueprints of the future software, web and mobile applications, just the blueprints. Everything is pretty visual, just drag and drop, business logic, endpoints, data models. Once ready, our platform will take all those requirements, generate source code for multiple languages, compile, test, and deploy in under the 30 seconds. If we need to change something, we just change the blueprints and publish it once again. And actually, no-code market is growing very well, so more than 30% per year. And one of the key drivers, COVID era, post-COVID era, every company needs to have a custom software to be digital, and of course, Russian and Ukrainian war made the whole region of Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus unavailable for software development completely, but companies still need to build software. And usually, no-code already considered a very crowded environment, a lot of competition, but we have a bunch of very unique features. We create real applications with a source code documentation, like it was created by a professional software development team. We do all-in-one, mobile, web, server applications, no technical debt ever. And by the way, up to 40% of all costs of customers, it's usually spent for refactoring and eliminating technical debt. We have very high performance, and in the end, our customers are getting 10 times reduction in time to market, 3 times reduction in budgets. We are completely HIPAA compatible, PCI DSS compatible, and even government agencies can use our product to create software for the government agencies. Our users love us, and that's the reason why we're growing more than 79% from month to month for the past year. And according to the G2 analytic agency, as of now, we are the fastest growing no-code platform in the world, amongst more than 300 competitors. We're looking to raise a very small amount of money to expand our global sales network, expand our partner network, because we have a very strong and complicated product. The best way to sell it is to use our partner network. And of course, advisors welcome. If you have good connections, or probably you can make an intro for the big VCs, I will be very grateful for any intros or connections. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Questions from investors? Pass the mic, please.
It doesn't have to be now, but I'd like to see more traction numbers in a highlight like this. Yeah, if you're raising 10 million, just give me your numbers so I can project how quickly what your next things are. I love it. Maybe one technical question. You said the updates work by just updating the blueprints. But then if you also update your data models and so on, you're going to run into version incompatibility, breaking your own, but like, how do you guys handle that?
Yeah, actually it's a great question, and we already solved it. So every time we change something, including data models, we propagate new changes, and that's a place where we use AI just to understand by changing your data model, changing data type, what are you trying to do? To reconnect all your logic, all your endpoints and UI elements, and we actually create even database migration script for you after your changes. And once you're ready and you hit the publish button, we actually generate source code from scratch. We don't use your existing code base from the previous versions, because for us it's a way faster and cheaper just to generate it from scratch. And there's a huge benefits. For example, you will start your project at some point, will generate everything, your blueprints and your requirements completely good. And in the next, for example, 15 months, you will come to us and hit publish button once again. And in 30 seconds, we will use the same requirements, but we will use new libraries, new language versions, and everything new. So it's a way cheaper than upgrade your legacy code with developers. And I believe there are a lot of software developers here, and everyone knows that migrating for the major version of libraries, it's a terrible actually idea, but you need to do it because you need to patch, you need to eliminate all the vulnerabilities and so on. But with AppMaster, it's 30 seconds. And that's a huge benefit for our customers.
I like your space a lot, and as you know, it's becoming a fairly crowded space. You have, the big guys, Codex, Tab9, Codify, the works. How much of your modeling is dependent on foundational models, and how much of that is original? And a follow-up question will be, how many users do you actually have?
Okay. So, my first answer, we don't use any external IP in our product. We don't use OpenAI. We don't use anything that's not under MIT license. So everything that's open source, we can use under the hood. But everything else, no, we are not using, first of all. In terms of code generation, it's a very streamlined, actually, process. So we're taking requirements and we understand everything. We don't need any AI to generate source code for you. But there is a trick. Once you change something, and it's very difficult to predict what they're trying to do, because there is a huge loss dependency inside. And the second question was almost 69,000 of users. And there is a catch. Most of users, they are not ready to build something meaningful, complex. They try to use bubble, Airtable, something simple. But if they need to build something meaningful, usually like 99% of all people can't build it because of lack of technical knowledges. And yeah, adoption is one of the most problematic, I'd say, parts of professional local platforms.
Okay, let me reframe my last question about how many users. Out of these users that build MVP products, how many of those are actually production level products?
Actually, we count only business customers, so we don't care about freelancers who use our platform for free. We have more than 200 business paid users. And by the way, we have 500,000 IRR as of now, and we have commitments for more than 2 million. So we just need to execute them. And yeah, so we have growth, we have users. And it's very interesting that with business customers, we have almost 0% churn. Because no one wants to go back to the Stone Age and use developers. But there is a huge problem with new guys and non-technical people. They go into our platform, some sharing a bit and just leave it for good.
It's time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Yarden. All right, next we have Yarden. So it's 4 minutes, right? Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Should be good.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Coleman, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Yarden. Our story is, I've always dreamed of having a vegetable garden that's successful of my own, and after looking around for some help, I couldn't find any. And so, after doing some searching, I found that 62 million gardens are started every single year, and that 85% of them fail due to a lack of time and expertise. So I started Yarden to fix this massive problem. The problem is that every single year, 62 million home gardens are started, and that 85% of them fail. $31 billion is spent on only a 15% success rate. Why do 85% of people fail at gardening? It's because they don't know how. So with YouTube, people get really overwhelmed with the amount of content. Same thing with books, you don't know where to start. With classes, they're too intermittent and they're too inconsistent, and home gardeners, who are our leading competitors, don't know how to grow food. Yarden solution is the gardening subscription, our Yarden app, and our online marketplace. Pay for the Yarden subscription. It's to hedge against rising food costs. People want to feel the personal well-being and joy of having a successful garden. And having a garden encourages a very healthy lifestyle. The Yarden app is a groundbreaking software tool that guarantees success in the garden. What it is a peace of mind for our customers of knowing where the plants are in the garden beds. They know when the plants will be harvested. They know what's harvested and how much. And they get to experience how the garden changes over the course of the season. And what's best is the whole family learns as they go along. Our online marketplace is the networked, distributed food market of the future, where we give total control to our customers over what they can do with their food, where we grow an average of 400 pounds per month per customer. So our customers can trade the food, they can sell it to one another, or, my favorite, they can donate some or all of it to the local food bank. Our traction is last year we had 45 subscribers at almost $100,000 ARR. This year we're on track to reach $200,000 of ARR with 85 subscribers. Our average monthly service cost is $200 and our margin is 40%. We're raising to reach 150 subscribers with an annual recurring revenue of $360,000. And we're raising a pre-seed round of $50,000 to accomplish these milestones. Get an additional 105 customers with an additional monthly revenue of $21,000. We're the Veggie Boys. So great product needs a great team. Isaac, our CTO, is a prolific software engineer. I am a master gardener, and Chuck is a natural product designer with UX UI experience. Would you like to know more? Let's talk.
Okay, thank you. Questions from investors, please. So actually, everyone can ask questions if you have, guys. Okay.
What's your competition in this space and what's keeping you up at night?
Good question. What keeps me up at night about competition in the space? It's pretty widespread. So there are other landscape contractors.
Autonomy.
There are other gardeners out there.
Angel funded, venture funded, meaning
No, none that are funded, but there are other companies that are landscape and gardeners that exist that could potentially do what we're doing, but so far don't have the software and are venture backed.
The marketplace is pretty strong differentiation. Actually, it's a benefit both for making money.
Correct. Yeah, the marketplace is a nice hook.
It seems that you are on a sort of like a slow growth ramp. Is there any particular reason?
Slow growth. Yeah. So during the first couple of years, we had to really establish our product, which are the vegetables. Unfortunately, those take a whole season in order to mature. And so the first couple of years were about adjusting and making sure that our expectation to grow 400 pounds per month per customer was accurate. And then we had to figure out how we would scale a landscaping business so that we could take as many customers as we can.
Another question?
I have one last one. It's fairly naive. So I was reading in one of your slides. It's a groundbreaking software tool that guarantees garden success. How does the software guarantee garden success?
Well, our customers are all provided with a garden map where they receive tiles with every vegetable. Our gardeners are actually the individuals that update the map when they're out for service. So our customers get real-time information about what's happening in the garden. And so they can tap on the tile to get information available at that particular vegetable. Let's just say they tap on a tomato, they'll be able to see when it's ready to be harvested, and they'll be able to also receive information about what to do, how to store it, how to cook it, etc.
Thank you. Do we have one more question from Al?
I love what you're doing. I love the idea of more real food closer to us, so bravo. I'd like to see you grow faster, so one of the things I was wondering is if you would consider testing different markets and different segments. I think, trying smaller urban places with a lower price point, you could get some real volume and high margin where people do it yourself. You could address these landscape B2B areas. There are quite a few startups that do autonomous farming that also have some, but I think if you could test a few more segments to grow a little faster, I think that might be a better use of funding than just trying to grow this one specific segment.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for those insights, and thank you. Round of applause. Next we have Eve Autonomy. And then again, after that, if the next person could come up, we have glasses. So we can be ready. Viral, Amentness, Radtech, and Axel. Testing.
Close.
Hi everyone, we are the Tommy. I'm Yusuke Nakayama, CEO of Video Tommy. We are offering an e-auto which moves goods with smart email. But move goods, we know that there already existed a lot of kind of robots, and AGV is already occupied the market. But we only know there is a mismatch with end users and these robots. What is that? That is the outward transportation. There is a lot of problem around the outdoor transportation. Yeah, outdoor is quite complicated. Various kind of buildings and trees existing in outside, and the road condition is very bad. Cracks are everywhere, and there are slopes and ditches and barriers of AGVs. And weather is also a problem. A rainy day and any other rough weather blocks the AGVs. So there is a lot of jobs remaining in each factory and plants. So people this is powered by the software self-driving technology. We built it with open source and built it into the golf cart-based small EV. And both of technology are originally designed for outdoor transportation, like in public road. So our service can operate easily in the complex situation. So we got some major Japanese major companies as a client. Panasonic is also suffering from this outside transportation, since their products are too big to assemble in single buildings. So they need to convey the multiple between the multiple buildings. And the prime partner, who is a petrochemical plant operator, has quite large areas of transportation. They have to convey a sample every day, many times, so they need to have solutions. Yamaha Motor is also suffering from outdoor transportation. They should split the thermal processing process under each buildings, and the traffic condition is awful. There's a lot of trucks and forklifts existing. We got gradual traction, and we have started our service in Japan from 2022, and we are already manufactured 200 numbers of vehicles. The market, we estimate the market size around $3.7 billion and started with Japan's market. The market will grow twice as big in 2030, and we will spread into North America and European market after a few years later. So we provided the vehicle as a service with Automa 3D, including the web tools of operation and services as a one package. So let's take a look at the competition situation. You know, there is a lot of robots and AGVs existing inside the buildings. The kind of World War II is have been continued inside the buildings, but outdoor situation, there is a lot of spaces to enter. So thank you for today for listening. Now I start to spread in the United States market, and we are powered by Yamaha Motors. So if you're interested in our service, please feel free to contact me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can you mention how much, how much are you looking, hello? How much are you looking to raise in funding?
What
are you looking to raise in funding?
Around $30 million.
So a lot. All right. Yeah. All right. Questions from our investors? Questions? Yeah.
I hate to monopolize the question. All right, so I think I understand the economic space. If I understand your plan, you take a golf cart, you put your hardware and software on the golf cart, and then you do kind of autonomous driving within a plant.
Exactly.
Yeah, the problem I see with that is if you look at your perception module, you cannot rely on maps that will allow you to kind of localize your actual position. So how much work do you need to do to kind of map out the plan itself?
The lead time is just 1 day, and after process we should take around 1 week to after mapping by 3D devices.
Okay, and one follow-up question. Are you also the hardware play, or just do the software stack?
Your question is our software stack of autonomous driving software.
Okay.
Yeah, we just use only the 3D lidars, localization, and obstacle detection features, so just only the lidar. This is very simple.
So you don't use a GPS, only lidar?
Only lidar, no.
And how often do you have to map the environment?
First of all, we take a map by the same vehicle using 3D lidar, same 3D lidars.
Right, so you take a map with the vehicle, but the environment keeps on changing, it's dynamic. How often do you have to update the maps again?
If the environment is changing, we should take another map again, the same way. Yeah, but our service is not so frequently.
Right now?
Yeah, you said $3,000 per month, right?
Or when we're done at the end.
How much does it take to manufacture?
Manufacturing cost. Around 440,000 per vehicle.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you very much. Okay. Next is viral. So now we're in the last section. Today we're ending earlier, and then we're gonna. So because it's cooler out, and we have these 4 pitches. We'll do 3 minutes to pitch and 2 minutes for Q&A.
Okay. So hey everyone, I'm Ajay Bam, CEO and co-founder of Viral. So the problem that we're solving is that consumers are now consuming and creating over 1 billion videos a day, and brands, retailers, and solution providers have no mechanism to search, analyze, and leverage video reviews to drive more conversion and engagement. And video increases brand trust because you can see the product, the person, and the emotions. So at Viral, we're helping brands and retailers increase revenue and customer acquisition by leveraging authentic video content such as reviews, unboxing videos, how-to videos, along with their branded content for insights and commerce. And all of this is powered by in-video search, personalization, and SEO. So to give you an example, if you are on an e-commerce site and you're looking for eyeshadow review featuring a 25-year-old female, not only can Viral find those 2 videos from the 40 videos that talk about eyeshadow, but we can actually play the clips. And in the process, we can dramatically improve the efficacy of making your purchase decisions. So essentially, we've created a response system where you can ask a question and it can respond with a video clip. So essentially, we are training machines to watch videos for the last couple of years. We make images, audio, transcription, and text searchable. We're one of the few companies in the world that can match millions of videos on YouTube to the entire Nike product catalog. And once it's matched, we then go inside the video and we analyze the video in 11+ dimensions, everything from sentiment, topic, scene, diversity, demographic, brand safety, and all of that. And we rate and rank all the video content. So essentially, we've built a platform, both our AI and machine learning models are built to scale, and we're building an infrastructure that can process millions of videos a day. So we came out of UC Berkeley from the Static Incubator program. Our team has had prior e-commerce exits, and our investors and our advisors, they all have a very strong e-commerce and AI and ML backgrounds. So essentially, Viral offers a solution for brands and retailers to capture, search, rank, intelligence, and commerce solutions. And we do this across multiple platforms. And we recently launched an API that makes any e-commerce site, website, mobile app, or desktop app searchable. And we have a number of customers that are signing up to this. So we have solved a big problem around in-video search. So this is our traction. We've generated over $500K in revenue, and we sell to the head of e-commerce and content marketing. And our business model is SaaS and API licensing. The market size is pretty big, 7 billion, and video is growing 400% year to year. And it's really a big problem, and that we're solving. So essentially where we are today is we're raising the $4 million round, and we've already closed $3.2 million in the bank. We have some amazing investors, including the head of shopping at Google, the head of AI at Pinterest, both the engineers at Amazon, Microsoft have also invested in the company as well. So yeah, so we're growing. And
great. All right, thank you. Great presentation. Very impressive. Okay, questions from any investors?
How do you come up with a market number?
Oh, it's actually a bottom-up approach. So looking at, actually, do you mind going back to that slide for a second?
Well,
So the slide before this? The one before. Yeah, so I'm looking at, we're focusing right now on 8 verticals where there's massive amounts of video consumption and creation, starting with beauty, fashion, electronics, home improvement, CPG, automotive, sports media, entertainment. And if you look at the number, if you do the math there, we're focusing right now on about 35 verticals. There are about 40,000 brands and retailers in each of these verticals on average. And on average yearly revenue of 5K per customer per year, it's about a $7 million business. And if we add another 100 categories, it's about a $12 to $15 business, $15 million business. And just to give you a sense, Amazon has amassed more than millions of videos now. And Amazon is already leading all their product pages with videos. So we're essentially providing a solution to the rest of the world that doesn't have the AI and the e-commerce engine and the recommendation engine that Amazon does. So with all these videos.
We have time for another question or another question? Yes.
One more question on the numbers. So you generated 500K. I can easily imagine that your compute is way above 500K. Because video processing can be expensive. Are you doing batch indexing or are you doing real-time indexing?
Yes, it's a great question. So first of all, I think in the last couple of years, we started the company 4.5 years ago. And at that time, if you ask me, like, I think the computing costs were pretty high. Now the costs have come down. I mean, our unit economics is, it's costing us about 23 cents to analyze a 12-minute video. And we can bring it down to 8 cents or even lower as we scale. So yes, there is, but I think overall the cost of computing is coming down. And a lot of new models, both software, hardware, both GPU, TPUs are coming about. So yeah.
23 cents for
12-minute video, yeah, on average, right? So yeah. Other questions?
All right, great, thank you. We're done with the
Well,
time.
thanks,
All right, thank
By the way,
you.
we have a great demo. If anyone wants to see an individual demo, please come see us.
Great, thank you. Next, Next we have Ametis.
A little bit close.
Hold the mic close
Hold
to
the
you.
mic,
Yeah.
Right there?
Yes, better. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Michael.
Clicker.
And I am the I'm the CEO of Madness. Essentially, there are a limited number of data services that you can find on major cloud provider platforms, such as AWS, Azure, and GCP. So what tends to happen is customers that need these data services that are unique, for example, full stack databases, what they'll tend to do is they'll go to the market, find DevOps engineers or engineers who have a bit of an understanding of how cloud platforms work, and then they'll come and deploy these data services within their environments. So essentially, we are talking about the unique data sets that are not available natively on AWS, for example. So the problem is that what customers are doing essentially, they'll go hire a DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer may not have ever heard of this tool. And what tends to then happen is DevOps engineer goes into Stack Overflow and learns how to deploy this tool in their environment. So effectively what the customer is doing is paying this engineer to learn how to deploy these tools in those environments. So this is where commitments comes in. So what we do is we work closely with the data service providers, data tool providers, such as data vendors, and we learn how their data tools work. So what that means is that essentially we test their platforms, we test their data tools, we test them on various configurations for scale and for performance. And then we provide a platform, a Madness, a SaaS platform, that customers can go in and provision these tools on within their cloud provider, their cloud platforms. So what this is, what we do is, it's basically our platform can run within the private cloud or the public cloud. It's cloud native, it's based on Kubernetes, which means that customers are able to provision their tools, a plethora of tools within their environments. So as it stands right now, we are in talks with two database vendors. One is a full stack database, and another one is a NoSQL database, which is hopefully going to allow us exclusivity to deploy, to basically run their platforms within their databases within the segment within their environment. So we are. So this is our team, myself and and Richard. So I've worked I've worked within the industry for about 15 years. Richard has worked in 16 years, for 16 years in the Navy, the Royal Navy. And we're looking for 500,000 to hopefully 500,000 to help us grow within the US.
Great, thank you very much. And where are you presently based? Where are you based, right? Where's your business based?
So we launched the beta product in the UK, but we are moving it to the US.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, questions from any of the investors?
Sure. How do you make money? I know you had a slide on that, but you really
yeah. So we make money by, so as I mentioned, we sit between the data centers and customers. So with our platform, customers are able to pay SaaS fees for using our platform, and we charge data vendors sort of integration fees, and that's what we hope to do, because our operation with the vendors is when we test their platforms, we actually tend to find bugs. Okay, and there's that feedback loop that goes back to the vendors that helps them fix these bugs in a quick enough fashion. So we charge them for that.
Thank you. Other questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
So are you in the actual GCP and Amazon stores as a package they can load? Like there's a Kubernetes, there's a whole project package you can load right in there. Are you coming in that? Is that how you access it in the cloud stores?
Yeah, good question. That is the direction. That is our thought process at the moment. So we're not there yet, but it's something that we are not working on.
Okay. Thank you. Any more questions? Yeah.
I have a question. I'm trying to understand the value of this. So if you look at a developer, right, who understands containers, Terraform, Ansible, so on and so forth, what do you provide to them? Or that's not the target market. Who would use your platform?
So put it this way, right? So the customer is spending a lot of money, all right? So we are saving the customer money, because what would have taken an engineer to provision 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, we're able to allow the customer to provision within a space of seconds. Right? That's one. So in other words, the customer is saving money. But for the developer as well, if they need these tools for their own development, it's going to be a headache, right? To provision these tools, for example, if they want to provision. Here's the thing, so some of these databases work differently on GCP, okay, versus AWS. So to be able to achieve the same level of deployment, you need to understand these tools intimately. So we take that pain away from the developers, and the customer gains by a short cycle of time around to achieve these tools.
All right, thank you. Next is RadTech. It's up there.
Thank you very much. My name is Brian Hart. I'm the founder and CEO of RadTech Medical Devices. We design and manufacture 3D printed positioning aids for cancer patients that helps them to have safer and more effective treatments. Globally, 100,000 people are diagnosed with head and neck cancer every year. It's also growing at an alarming 10% annual growth rate in the US and higher abroad due to the rise in HPV. Smoking and vaping is now actually coming back. So the biggest problem right now is that radiation therapy is used to treat 80% of these patients. And that involves getting positioned in this thermoform mask that you see in front of you, where it actually bolts the patient to the table for their 30+ treatment sessions, 5 days a week, or 6 weeks. Now, that mask is terrible, it's barbaric, and it does nothing to actually position the patient's jaws and tongue, where most of their treatments are actually occurring. So it causes a lot of harmful side effects, and it can really affect your sense of taste, your sense of smell. Think about everything that's controlled in this region. We're just 1 to 2 centimeters of separation. By moving the anatomic structures away from that area being treated, you can reduce or entirely eliminate the radiation of those healthy structures. That's where we've created our intraoral positioning devices. We've got our Lollipop light blocks that are currently FDA approved and being used by UCSF, Cleveland Clinic, and a number of top hospitals across the US. Our custom IPDs that you see there are where we're going with the future of this. And so with the custom IPDs, we actually take digital scans of the patient's teeth and create a device that is specifically made for them based on their anatomic structures and their treatment needs. Now, what's better about those is that they actually position the patient's oral structures so precisely that we can incorporate real-time tracking into those devices, which will make these masks no longer necessary. That's where we see the future of our company going. With both of these products, there's CPT billing codes that already support full billing and reimbursement for both of them. The Lollipop Bite Blocks are being sold for between $175 to $300 per device. Cost of manufacture on those is $25. When we look at our custom IPDs, there's only a number of, well, MD Anderson was making hand-fabricated stents similar to these that they were selling for between $2,500 and $3,000. This is actually what one of our major clients was using before us. This is a wooden cork tongue blade that they can no longer use because the CDC said so. As we look to the future, we've got multiple patents issued, certified manufacturing facility. This is a Stanford study that we did. It shows we have 3 times more separation, 10 times greater accuracy, 10 times less movement. This is what we look at for the future. I want to help as many patients as we can and eventually get connected through a partnership or a strategic acquisition where we can not only provide a revenue boost to the partner through our products, but also there's a number of possibilities where we can give them a boost to their core businesses as well. With just 15% of the US market, we're looking at 18 million in revenue. When you go over to Europe, the market is a little over 2.5 times that of the US. We have IP in both the US, EU, and Asia.
Great, it's time for questions. All right, great, thank you, great presentation. I was curious, do we have anyone in the audience who has a medical or clinical background? Great, well, there's always people to talk to in our audience. We always have very highly educated people. Okay, any questions from the investors?
What are the challenges for, if you're replacing a common product that can be used on anyone, it's universal, you have this custom product, is that create friction in the sales process to get into hospitals? How do you deal with that?
So clinical trials would be the primary way, and what we would do is going after the research to say that through our devices, Accuray created the fiducial tracking. We go through and you do a clinical study that says without a mask, these devices, we have the same positioning and overall radiation delivery accuracy. So that's why we would address that, and then the doctors would be happy to see these gone because at the end of the day, it causes a lot of discomfort for the patients. Many patients have to be put on sedatives, anti-anxiety medication, and what if you don't end up finishing their actual treatment because these are so difficult for them to use and to withstand throughout that whole course of the treatment.
Any more questions? Yeah?
What's the barrier to entry for potential competitors?
So barrier to entry for potential competitors, it's not the greatest market. We do have IP that protects both the devices, our manufacturing processes, as well as our future technologies. And then we're really looking for a strategic partner that will help us find that out.
Great. All right, thank you. Axel.
Hello, hi everybody. This is Vamsi. I'm a co-founder, CTO of Navi. How many of you have driven in your car and wanted to have a coffee or a burger while you are on the road? Think about that experience today. You have to first make a decision on what are the shops around, how do I pay for it, when I get there, will the fries be soggy, will my coffee be hot, etc. So we are reinventing the in-car commerce experience or on-my-way commerce experience. So we are a retail leadership team. Cynthia Hollins, our CEO, I'm the CTO, ex-Apple, Visa, and had startup exits as well. As I mentioned, 3 big areas that Navi is making a huge difference in. Number one is when you're in your car, you don't want to see 50 different options. We use our ML engines, preferences of the drivers, to give you 4 curated options based on the context of the driver and where the car is, right? So that's number one. How do you find it? Number two is we integrate directly with the OEMs, the car manufacturers, and in-car wallets. That's number two. So we make payments seamless. And number three, we geofence over 1 million locations right now in terms of restaurants, QSRs, but other verticals like charging, fuel, etc. are coming up. But we geofence the locations so we can actually update the restaurants and tell them when the driver is going to arrive so they can get the food up. The automotive opportunity is huge. It's a better medium, context relevant. You know, we are working with Stellantis right now. We're working with Stellantis' Jeep, Chrysler, and other brands. Volkswagen Group as well through the Harman IVI. So we are allowing the whole platform, Mavi platform can be white labeled. So native, in-dash, we're working with Mapbox, TomTom in terms of your navigation systems, Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. All of these multimodal, touch and voice enabled. So from a retailer standpoint, we are nationwide, and we have coverage of over 1 million locations right now in the US, looking to expand in Europe and Middle East as well. So wins for the entire journey. Number one, the driver. As I said, it's convenience for you, and drivers are willing to pay a service fee. Number two, the retailers. The retailers tell us that do anything to get our customer back into the location. We don't want to be dealing with delivery people. We want to have a relationship with our customer back. That's super important for the retailers. Number three, brands are getting new touch points. And automakers, lastly, are now having the ability to tap into transactional revenue, not just sell a car, but tap into the transactional revenue as well. So, as I said, we are based off of transactional revenue, 6 to 10%. So we've previously raised over close to $2 million in pre-seed. Current raise is $2.5 million. Automakers are Harman, Volkswagen, Stellantis in discussions with additional automakers. Retailers are 1.2 million. We're part of the plug and play, and early investors are from Amazon and other strategics. So you see some of our exposure in the press, and happy to take questions. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
This is fantastic. So, one question: how many drivers do you have? How many retailers do you have? How many automakers are signed up for the platform?
Absolutely. So we have two modes. One is a lighter integration, one's a deeper integration. When I say deeper, we tie in with the loyalty programs. We do deep integration with the retailers. Those are a handful. Anita is an example. We're working with a bunch. Lighter integrations, we have over 1 million locations in the US. From driver standpoint, we don't have cars on the road, but we have signed relationships with Stellantis, which is 2024 cars. But all those cars are going to be backwards compatible all the way to 2013. So we're looking at least 20 million cars on the road. But 2024. So same with Volkswagen as well.
This is just a request. Anybody who's pitching, please start with, I'm seeking X dollars at X valuation, and then go into your pitch so that we can start thinking about whether you fit us or not, and then do your spiel. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good point. Thank you.
How do you compete against the navigation app? Like, Waze is out there, and they must be going after this or thinking about it.
So, great question. So, what we bring to the table is the fact that we are retailers, right? We are e-commerce experts. So, when you're driving around the corner and you want your 2% milk, Waze is not in the business of making sure that 2% milk is in stock. So, doing inventory checks, tying in with the POS systems, doing all of that and customer service, right? So all of that whole e-commerce funnel is what we are good at. That's what we are bringing to the table. So Waze is currently good at telling you where the location is and will give you a phone number, but till now it's not able to transaction enable you.
Thank you. All right, great, thank you, great presentation. And now we have our last presenter, Actual AI, which is over there. How about this?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still.
Hello? Yes. Okay, sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Courtney. I'm one of the newest members of the marketing team at Alto AI. To date, we have raised We are a software company. We help make videos, great videos, easier, right? We make media easier. Sam couldn't make it today, so I'm here filling in. So far, we have raised close to $1 million in equity. We are looking to raise 2.5 million. And so the problem is that video editing is really a mess, you know, it's just having to collaborate, looking through hard drives to find the videos, and it's really the needle in the haystack sort of problem that you run into. And everyone has to do it. Right now, there's 500,000 video teams worldwide, and we're looking to see over 1 million, close to 1 million, excuse me, by 2030, dealing with the same thing. The spend is growing. It's grown from close to 7 billion in 2017 to 16 billion in 2024. Okay, so some of our customers include Amazon, Patagonia, Coca-Cola, but our main broad base is small and medium-sized companies. More recently, we got to work with RTN Malaysia and Coachella, the Coachella Music Festival, which is really fun. Okay, so the media creation cycle, it used to be, we had months, you know, to work on the video project, and with COVID, things, you know, the time cycle, the media creation cycle shortened. So weeks before, you know, during COVID. And now you have hours to really rush out, you know, media content. And so to react to the demand, you know, Actual AI is good. We were profitable before. We have a projected 1.6 million in 2023, and we average about 100,000 a month in revenue, and it's a really hot space to be in the case of Script AI, with more than a 500 million valuation. And some of our investors include Jason Kalkanis and Stadia Ventures. We're capital efficient. Like I said, we've raised close to $1 million to date. And we're worth 15 million pre-money valuation. We're looking for equity or convertible note. And we have a team of 27 full-time members at this time, globally. And you can talk to me or Sam. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, questions from any investors?
So how do you make money? Is it a subscription, software license?
A third of our business is, and I turned it off. I'm sorry. I can talk about it. A third of our business is SAS. And then
Why don't you just talk loud?
Alright, so 2/3 of our business is with the subscription.
Any other questions?
Maybe I missed it. What's the core of the offering?
Try
What are you really offering?
I'm sorry?
What are you really offering?
Well, we also have a lot of features with the brand, so media asset management, basically, and there's a lot of cool things that media teams can do working remotely. You're able to collaborate in real time.
It's the real-time video editing collaboration software.
Yes.
Thank you. Good summary. All right, any more questions? Yes,
Just a follow-up question to the last question, right? I used to work for Apple, so I'm really familiar with the tooling that Apple provides mostly for free. How do you compare that?
I would say that is a good more of a question for the founder, than me. So I can find that.
Thank you very much. So before we end, we're going to have just not a pitch, but just tell you about Startup House. Prior to COVID, for 2 years, there was a Startup House in Atherton. Many of you went there. We did a great event once a month called Backyard Capital. Everyone loved it. It was like this, but it was all outdoors with a barbecue. Unfortunately, they had to give it up during COVID. But don't be disappointed. There's a new Startup House in town in Palo Alto, and Anton's going to tell you about it.
Thank you, Zahava. Yeah, I'm also co-founder, and dear investors, I don't need your money. I'm not going to pitch today. I just want to let you know that we recently opened new startup house 2 blocks away from this street in Middlefield Road in Palo Alto. Like a new generation of startup house, yeah, with surgery, with the house together. Prices are similar as it was, about $40 per month. It's a living for entrepreneurs. And if you guys want to live in a community of like-minded people with other entrepreneurs, guys working in startups, or just you want to chill good, feel free to come. Feel free to fill out this form on our website. You can scroll down and you'll see this form filled out, and my team, our team, will reach you out and we can find collaboration. Thank you guys. Please scan this barcode. Yeah.
Thank you. And we might be doing some events in your backyard. So a few things before we finish. I'm now thinking about doing some Zoom events, webinars, because we have a large global audience. And I wanted to know, we have already investors who have agreed to be part of the Zoom program. They would be free. They would be listening to investors in a panel on how to attract funding in the current economic climate. And so we have 2 options to do it in the morning around 10 a.m. or in the afternoon around 4 p.m. for 1 hour. So I just want to vote which time people prefer for a Zoom program. How many people prefer 10 a.m.? And how many prefer today around 4 p.m.? Today because you get your day's work in. So look for that. We'll also be looking for speakers or investors for those programs. The theme will be how to attract funding, alternative funding, what to do in the current climate, and dealing with different types of market opportunities. So now we are ready for the networking. Anyone who pitched today can go take a table in the room next door. There's tables against the walls. There's a Wi-Fi password, and there are outlets. In the back patio, we have dinner being served. We have 2 sides of the table. There's enough food for everyone, so you can stand in line and go through the table. And we also have drinks back there, and you'll feel free to network in the patio or in the room. And we'll be here till around 6:30, probably till about 6:30. So have a great time, and thanks for joining us.
I'm really sorry I lost my voice, but we forgot to tell you. So next event is 3rd Thursday of the month. It's 16th of March. Everyone is welcome, and thank you for coming again.
And yes,
Thank
we
you.
have renewed our relationship with this facility, which we love, and so we're going to continue to do it the third Thursday of the month, so you can look for it. Thank you.
It's in March, April, and so on. Thank you.
I enrolled 2 hours ago, and I didn't have the sticker.